it's Catherine here to share with you a process video today for DIY embellishments for the Australia Day Cyber Crop hosted by Kitaholics Kits. Now, I have pulled out one of the Kitaholics kits from last year. So this is from June last year, and as you can see, I have a ton of embellishments left. So I have the printables, and then there was this one from Magical Forest, and also the Storyline by Heidi Swap. And I did happen to pick up a few things from scrapbook.com, so I've actually got an extra pack of ephemera there. I've also fussy cut some of the papers that came in the kit, so these two different florals. So I wanted to go through and try and use some of these up and create some embellishment clusters ready to either go on project life cards, maybe for some happy mail or even a scrapbook layout. So I'm going to go through and show you what I'm going to create. But I've got these two trays. I do actually usually store all of my embellishments in these 6x4 cases, but I've kind of sorted them out into the different areas that I wanted to work with. And then I have the main papers, and again, this is exactly how I store all my kits once I have them. This one, I don't know what it is. I love this collection. I haven't used, I've used it, but I haven't, certainly haven't killed it. And so I am going to try. So I've got all my scraps in here, so I'm definitely going to use some scraps for the DIY embellishments. I've got some of the 12x12 papers. I've also got a bunch of stickers as well. Excuse the glare. I've got to have my bright lights on because it's a little bit hot here at the moment, so I need all my curtains closed. So we've got some stickers from Jen Hatfield, and also some from Heidi Swap. Oops, excuse me, turn it around. Some from the same collection, so that Heidi Swap Storyline collection, and also again some Jen Hatfield stickers there. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward and show you through my process. Enjoy. So I'm going to go ahead and start by pulling out some of the bigger kind of base elements I want to start working with. And I've got a mixture of cut apart sheets, some of the printables, so the Pocket Life printables. And I'm just starting with those as a base, and I'm also pulling out this frame because I want to make a shaker pocket. So I'm just pulling out a few different things that I think will work. So that easy peasy lemon squeezy with the lemon on top I thought would work well. And so this was from one of the cut apart sheets, and it's quite large, so I'm not sure how I'd work with it just by itself on a scrapbook layout, but I think once I'm finished with it, I'll really get some use out of it. So I am just going through working with these 5 different bases to start with, and I'm just picking out ephemera pieces that will work with it. And so like I said, I'm making a shaker pocket with this frame, and I have just used some double-sided tape, and this is an old like pocket page that I've used for other things, so I've just cut it down and stuck a piece on there. And now I'm using some adhesive foam to put around the edges of this frame to create some like a well so that I can put those sequins in. So I've used a mix of sequins that go with those flowers as the embellishment that I've put on the front. I'm just going to use some wet adhesive here. This is a fine line bottle with some Scotch tacky glue in it, and the card I'm putting on the back is one of the printables, and from that June kit, and I'm just sticking that down, and I'll go ahead and trim that off later once it dries a little bit. So this card is from one of the Heidi Swap cut aparts, and I'm going to put that vellum flower down the bottom, and I'm just adding some foam tape to this sentiment here to make it stand out a little bit. And that one says, "Don't forget you're awesome." So I'm sticking that down on that circular piece, and I don't have vellum tape. I'd like to get some someday, but I haven't actually seen it in Australia. So if you are aware of it, please let me know, and I'd love to get some of that. So I've stuck that floral piece down, and I did have a bunch of punched out gold glitter, you know, hearts and stars and circles in that little container there. So I've added that heart, and then I felt like there was a bit of an empty space down the bottom there, so I needed something to yeah, to kind of put there. I was working out what sort of embellishments. I'm going through these sticker sheets just to try and work that out, but I end up coming back to these sentiments and I add "you are the bestest." So I thought that went well. So yeah, that shaker pocket, I've trimmed that piece off and that's there. So I'm using this tag and these rainbows, and I'm just laying those rainbows across the center. And I'm going to add this other sentiment here, which is "there is sunshine in my soul." And again, I'm going to pop that up on some foam adhesive to make that stand off the page. So I'll be really interested to see how I can use these DIY embellishments on a scrapbook layout. This was a challenge for me. I have never created DIY embellishments before. So this was new to me, so it was fun to kind of go through, not really think too much and just start sticking things down. I really enjoyed it. I could have gone on and on for ages, but I didn't want this video to be way too long. But yeah, so I'm just using this tag. I'm going to punch a hole in there and then pull through this twine. I don't know about you, but I cannot leave a tag without twine in it, or I find it very difficult. So then I wanted to add a little bit more to this embellishment. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of these fussy cut flowers around this bigger yellow piece. And so I'm just sticking those down, and I'm going to do that on the diagonal. Yeah, I really think I'll be able to use this piece on a layout. So yeah, watch this space. I might be able to get some scrapbooking done for the 26th on the actual day of the cyber crop, and so hopefully I'll be able to make a layout. So I'm finished with that one, and now I'm working on this pink. This was one of the printables from the kit, and so I'm adding these peaches. The one at the top says "squeeze the day," or maybe it's an orange. I'm not sure. But I'm adding an arrow there, and that's in that craft kind of paper. So I'm just going through working out what else to add, because I knew I needed some more craft. So then I've added this "let's do this." So it now reads "squeeze the day" and "let's do this." But I did want to find another craft element to add to the top here, and I don't find it now, and I do come back to it later because I really felt like it was missing. I felt like I needed those pieces. Then I'm going to go through and create this flower cluster. So this is again some of the printables, and I'm adding that enamel dot there and then some leaves. And yes, I ended up changing out the card because I wanted something a bit bigger. I felt like I could use this, you know, as a journaling space, but then it felt like it needed something at the top. So I added this sentiment, which was "the good life." And all of these sentiments are pretty, you know, they're pretty generic, so I can kind of use them on multiple layouts. So then this large ephemera piece, this was from the Magical Forest collection, and I wouldn't have a clue how to use this on a scrapbook layout. I felt like it was so big, but the Stay Curious kind of, to me, went with this card, and down the bottom it does say "explore your world." So then I've added a tag up the top, which is places, and I'm adding a airplane and then a little direction, or, you know, I don't know what they're called. Anyway, I've added that. I think I might be able to use that in like a mini album. I'm thinking I want to do a scrapbook, or sorry, a mini album this year of all my cycling adventures. You know, so photos going way back. So I think I'll add that. And then I'm working with this printable card again, and I'm adding a butterfly and that tag that says everyday moment, and then just some enamel dots there. And I did create this shaker pocket off camera because I didn't think you needed to see two of them, but I really love this cute little fox, and I think I'll use it on a layout. I'm still trying to create my son's baby album, even though he's going to be 6 this year. But I think I'll use it on that. So then I'm just trying to work out what sentiment to use down the bottom. But while I am doing all of this, I should let you know I will leave links below to the Kitaholics Kit community page on Facebook, as well as a link to the event. So yeah, I really hope that this, gives you some inspiration to create some DIY embellishments to, like I said at the start, either use on a scrapbook layout, send out as happy mail, or project life. That's my plans for these. So then the kit also came with some ribbon or lace, I should say, and I wasn't sure what to do with it, but I really wanted to get it on one of these DIY embellishments. So I decided to use this red line tape here and create a ruffle across the bottom of this tag, and it actually works really well. I thought I would need to stitch it, but it's holding out really well. So I'm just ruffling that along. I don't make you watch all of this, but it's it sticks really well, especially with that red line tape. So then I'm just stapling the ends to make sure that kind of holds, and I'm working out what to add next. I'm not gonna lie, I probably should have limited the supplies I used, but I did kind of use a few things from each of those different elements that I showed you at the beginning. So then I'm going to go ahead and add this rainbow and this floral piece. I do end up creating quite a few sort of pink themed cards, but that's okay because the collection or this kit was pretty heavy with the pink, and I really like how they turned out. So then I'm just popping this sentiment up on foam, and that says captured. So again, pretty generic kind of terms, so they can be used on quite a lot of things. So I'm going to pop that there and then add one of the enamel hearts, and I decide on sort of that deeper reddy peach colour. So I've added that there, and then I'm going to, I do look at adding another gold glitter heart, but I decided just the one heart was enough. And so I'm going to go ahead and work on the next card. After I straighten this capture, it looked crooked then when I looked at it. So this is the last DIY embellishment I'm going to be creating, and I'm using this kind of painty striped piece, and then I'm shuffling through the ephemera. By this stage, I've kind of made a bit of a mess of everything, so it was good to be able to create so many different DIY embellishments. And I'm going to add a floral piece here, and then just a sentiment that says let's catch up. And I will leave you with some close-ups of each of these DIY embellishments. And again, like I said, I really hope this gives you some inspiration, and I will post in the group on the actual day of the crop to show you what I create with these DIY embellishments. So thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you've got some inspiration there. Bye.